We are still weeks away from springtime, but there's a ranch nestled in the foothills of Mayfield where lots of calves are making their way into the world already. According to the Department of Ag, there are more cows than people in the Gem State. And cattle is our second largest ag sector. So cows, as you know, are a pretty big deal here. Sophia Bliss went to Lord Ranch to find out how calving season is going so far.
I've always said this is the center of the universe. It's the center of my universe. For all my life, and my granddad's life, and my dad's life, it's been the center of our universe.
Since 1945, the Lord family has been on this land in the Mayfield area, in between Boise and Mountain Home.
Compared to a lot of ranches in Idaho, we're the new guys.
New guys or not, it's a busy time of year for Jeff Lord. It's calving season, and Lord is closely watching to make sure everything goes smoothly for his herd.
It's a fun time of year because it's when you get those new calves. And
work on a ranch is year-round and pretty energy-intensive. And even though sometimes he's watching the herd around the clock, he says it just comes with the territory.
It's just a time to get those calves on the ground and get them growing and do what we do. But I mean, I like gathering in the fall. I like all of it. It's just a different time of year, different jobs. This is one that you don't get as much sleep as others.
And sleep all depends on how his herd is doing.
I usually wake up between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Once you get up, you go out, and we still have some yearling calves we're feeding, so we feed them. We feed our, after we check the calves first. My son goes through the big bunch, and I go through the heifers. Then we feed everything, and then from then on, it just kind of depends. If we have a water issue, we fix a water tank, or we have an equipment problem. We'll try our best to fix that and keep everything running.
Lord typically checks on the heifers every 3 to 4 hours. A heifer is a cow that's never had a baby before, and sometimes those babies need a little extra help. Lord is calling this calf Candy. He says he found her out in the pasture and her temperature was too low. They weren't sure if she was going to make it through the night. So they brought her inside their house and put her in the warm water in the kitchen sink. And thanks to the intervention, she survived.
There's a lot of people that do a lot more than we do, and a lot of people that do a lot less. It's just nature of the business.
Lord said he's calves in February, but not all ranchers do things the same way. He thinks working with what your ranch has to offer is important. In his area, the season for green grass in the spring is really short. So he chooses February in hopes that the winter isn't too harsh and the new additions to the herd can utilize the spring grasses. Even with Lord's years of experience and constant watching and waiting, he says it can still be tough to tell just when cows are ready to give birth.
A lot of it is our cows will fool you. We'll have cows that show all the signs of calving, and they won't for a month. When you start thinking you know everything about a cow, they'll fool you every time. You kind of know, but you don't know for sure.
One thing Lord does know for sure, though, is how to tell if a mother and calf are bonding.
We like to see that they've nursed. Well, first of all, if the mother paying attention to it, like that heifer over there, she's starting to lick it, and he's already up on his feet, so he's a really good active calf. When she licks him, I mean, that's their way of loving him, and that motivates them to get up and they know it's their mama.
A sign of success after lots of hard work. But Lord says he'll take the hard work over luck any day.
I think hard work's a little more predictable than superstition, personally. It's not that hard to get up and look. What they say, the best thing you can do for your land is put your shadow on it. So that's what we try to do.
Lord also says the workload really depends on the year and the weather conditions. He even told me about one year when his son was in high school and the weather was in such poor conditions that his son needed to skip wrestling tournaments because it was an all hands on deck situation. So Brian, this year has been a little bit more mild in comparison, but as of last night, Jeff still had 4 calves at his house.
Like not just at his house, but in his house?
I think so.
Well, I can see now why they call it a farmhouse sink. I never knew that before today.
The more you know.
Thanks, Sophia.